My friends, please, in your own time, keep in prayer the Middle East, pray for Israel, and for those that are in that area, the Palestinians as well, and especially the Egyptian uh, Egyptian communicators that are there trying to bring peace in that area. Much unrest, and there's much to be said about praying for our brothers and sisters that are in the Gaza Strip and the peace that's needed there. It's amazing that behavior changes feeling. As when I was in college and studied, I guess you would put me in the category as a behavioralist in some ways because I feel like, in my personal opinion, that behavior is what lends itself to the feelings. Change the behavior, and then the feelings will follow. It's not always, well, if I feel better, then my behavior will change. And that doesn't always work that way because sometimes the feelings just don't come. And I think about that now in the Middle East as the behavior of those that are attacking on both sides, Israel and the terrorist group Hamas. As that quiets down, the behavior stops. Then people start feeling safe. They can come out from under their bunkers, and that's a big thing. We don't live under that attack here in America. We don't know what that is to have bombs flying into our cities every day. And may we never. But when the behavior changes, the feeling comes. And that is true for us as people. A lot of times you can't wait to feel better. You have to behave your way into the feelings. Sometimes you can't wait to say, well, I have anxiety, depression, and anxiety disorder or something like that. And if you say, well, I'll wait till it goes away and then behave better, sometimes it's in the doing, it's in the behavior of going out in spite of what you're facing that the feelings come. There's a story told of a Jewish preacher that was told to stop preaching. This was back during the time of the Roman era, and the Jews were under siege and the rule of the Romans at that time, and they said, "Stop preaching in the name of Jesus." Remember, the Romans were responsible for the crucifixion. The Romans were responsible for believing they had caused the death of Jesus, and they certainly didn't want to hear about a resurrected Jesus because they looked at him as a rebel and causing issues. So when this Jewish preacher began preaching, he's alive and the resurrection, and people were being converted, the Romans said, stop preaching. Well, he didn't, because of the passion and the fervor and the call that was on his life. And so, with that, they put him in prison and they beat him, put him in prison. And it wasn't just that he was in a jail cell now, but they put him in chains and shackled him. Well, as the story is recounted to us out of Jewish history, at midnight, the church was praying for him. The church was praying for strength and God's will to be done. And, their minister had been locked up simply for preaching the good news of Jesus. And the Romans certainly did not want to hear that. And at midnight, while the church prayed, an angel appeared to this minister. And so, as he was awakened out of his sleep, he's trying to determine, is this a real thing? Is this a dream? And the angel says to him, I've been dispatched from heaven. And listen to this. Rise up, and you are going to be set free. Basically, it was a jailbreak being sent from heaven. That's pretty good. That's even better than bail. Heaven said, we're not going to, this is how we're going to bail this guy out. We're not going to bail him out. We're going to break him out. And so the angel says, rise up and you will be set free. Now remember, this guy is not just in a jail cell. There are guards nearby. He's in shackles. He's in chains. And I want you to notice that as they tell us this story, the next step is he rises up and then the chains fall off and he is able to leave the jail and continue his ministry. A miracle at midnight. Now, the thing that I notice about that is what he did, his actions, as opposed to what he did not say to the angel. He didn't look at the situation and say to the angel, well, I'm bound up. I'm locked up in prison. If you will make my chains go away, then I will rise. In other words, if you'll get rid of these things that are stopping my behavior from being free, then I'll go. But the chains didn't fall off first. He had to rise up first, and then the chains fell off. He said, make the chains go away, then I'll get up. No, you get up, and then the chains will fall off. In other words, you start behaving like you believe you're going free, and the chains will fall off. There's a saying, and I don't even know who to accredit it to, but I heard it years ago, and I love it. It says, begin to act the way you want to be, and then pretty soon, you will be the way you act. And it's not saying that, well, if you're sick, start acting well and it'll go away. But it's a mindset that it starts putting you in a better position to start receiving the life that you're after, the pursuit of being better. It's not saying that you're not depressed, but you start behaving in such a way. We've all been here. We've all been here. Maybe you've been in your house not feeling well and you decide, well, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go to the store. And as you go, it's an interesting thing. The feelings start catching up with the behavior. Don't wait always for the chains to fall off. Sometimes the chains will go away once we begin to rise up. So rise up and start taking a step forward. So you may not be running yet. Walk. Dr. King said if you can't walk, crawl. But just keep moving forward, one step at a time. Have a great week.